Ahoy, ahoy! Welcome to the AI Bots podcast. I'm Chazzy, and with me is Dan Clark. How you doing, Dan?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great, thanks, mate. I'm great. So, let's get straight into it. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? This week I went back to something on the 360. A game called Star Ocean Last Hope.
Right.
It's part of the long-running Japanese sci-fi RPG series. It started on the SNES, but this one's obviously all spangly and 3D and like a modern game.
And all nice and shiny.
Yeah, it looks really nice actually for a 360. I know a lot of 360 games look nice, but it's got real sort of vivid colours, really vibrant. So yeah, it's like I say, it's a sci-fi RPG. I think the original ones were sort of based on Star Trek, very much in that.
Oh, right, okay.
That sort of vein. And then this one is a prequel to the whole series. So it's about the first generation of humans to leave Earth.
Right. So is this a long-running series then?
Yeah. It goes back to the Super Nintendo. The first one was on.
Oh, right, sweet.
So really long-running. I think it might have been a sort of response to the fact that you couldn't get the Phantasy Star games on Nintendo consoles. I think maybe Enix saw a sort of gap in the market and got a sci-fi RPG made.
So the sort of everyone was loving it on the Phantasy Star on the Master System and Mega Drive or whatever, and people were jealous and built a new system out of it.
Yeah, because like sci-fi RPGs are pretty underdone. Most like 90% of your fantasy setting, aren't they? Like your dragons and castles, kings and forsooths.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite nice to play one that's in a completely different sort of atmosphere.
All right, sweet.
Seeing as it's about the first generation to leave Earth, it kind of reminds me of the feeling of Mass Effect 1, where, you know, when the humans were trying to sort of edge their way into alien civilization.
Yeah.
Like, all the other races had known each other for, like, however many years. And
like, the humans were the newcomers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the kind of sort of semi-racism to do with that and being held back and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
so it feels a bit like a Japanese counterpart to that storyline. It's interesting to watch that play out in a different way. The only thing that was off-putting, the characters have the deadest eyes I've ever seen.
It's always an off-put. It's like that. Who's the girl in Uncharted who's got like really dead eyes? I can't remember her name. It's not Elena. It's the other one.
I've not played any. But
they updated her eyes in Uncharted 3, and she looks like a human now rather than some kind of like alien that's taken over her body. But
it's funny how something so simple as the eyes can like put you off the characters, isn't it? But I suppose it's the thing that we're so used to connecting with.
Yeah, totally.
It looks like it's like you've got like a little doll's house saucer and put a Haribo sweet on it. It's like just like a white disc with like a green bit in the middle or whatever colour in the middle. It's
weird.
But and the voice acting is terrible as well. But it's JRPG.
So is it fully voiced? Is it like a fully voiced game?
Almost fully voiced. It's like most JRPGs. You get say when you're on a mission, you'll get the bits that pop up on the bottom of the screen.
Text blocks.
Yeah, but a lot of it is spoken. But they're all voices that, you know, your typical American anime voiceovers, where you can recognise the same 4 or 5 people.
yeah, being reused for all different, like, you know, background characters and NPCs and that kind of
stuff. And you've got the tough guy, and you've got the young one who is a new guy on board, and all that kind of stuff. But
so does it follow a lot of kind of the similar tropes of every like Japanese RPG? You know. Like, you know, you've lost your memory and, you know, you're the unknown hero who's got to save the world. Is it one of those?
Similar to East, I guess they've got a new way around it in that you're embarking on a new universe. So,
okay. Yeah.
So again, they've got round the why don't they know anything about where they are? The battle system's really nice. Like I was thinking it might be.
So is it turn-based?
It's not turn-based. It's a real-time battle system.
Okay.
And
so by real time, do you mean it's kind of more like a proper fighting game, you know, brawler fighting game, or is it
it's a bit like a Kami where it zaps you, like you get a random encounter, not random encounters. You see the enemies on the map, and you run into them, and like a Kami, it takes you into this sort of discrete walled arena.
Right. Okay.
Where you have a fight.
So it's a bit like that Final Fantasy PSP game, the prequel to 7.
Yeah, Crisis Core.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or Beyond Crisis, whichever one of the two. There's one that was, I don't know, but I know the one you mean. It's it has got a feel like that actually. The battle system's very similar in that it's sort of fast paced and a lot about timing. So I'm hoping that that's going to get deeper and sort of lure me into the universe.
Right. But is the universe sort of dragging you in? Is the story kind of enough to kind of pull you through this game?
Well, so much so that I think when I gave up on it first time, it's almost a good thing that, like, because the people in the game are quite apprehensive about making their way out in the universe, and I kind of felt the same when I got to the end of the first planet and they're all about to leave. I was like, oh shit, this is the first planet. How big is this game going to be? Like,
all right, so it's kind of analogous to like what you were doing.
Yeah,
what they were feeling.
Yeah, it was as daunting for me as it was for the characters. So I suppose that's quite a good thing in a way. I don't know if they planned it that way, but
yeah, it'd be nice if that was how they planned it.
Yeah, sadly, I don't think Tri-Ace are smart enough for that. Do you know them as a team at all?
No, I don't.
They're kind of your perennial B team of JRPG developers.
Oh right.
Like you're also Rands. Like they've always got sort of the second biggest series in any given genre, that kind of thing. And they've got great designers, great composers. Like it all should work, but there's just
they're like super subs.
Yeah, that's your one. There's just
you bring them on and they do a reasonably decent job, but they're never going to win the ultimate prize. You know?
Yeah, no real sort of spark to it. But but I'm hoping that, like, the music's incredible. One of the best JRPG soundtracks I've heard in a while. I know they're all much of a muchness.
Yeah,
but it's that kind of screechy guitar style. You know, the really fast Japanese guitar solos for the battle systems and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got all that. So I'm quite enjoying quite a little old school rant through an HD world. It's
cool. So how many hours have you looked that up? How many hours it is? Because JRPGs are normally pretty hefty.
Yeah, I think it's most in this generation have cut back a bit. I think they're between sort of 25 and 40, and I think it falls around the sort of 30, 35 mark. But,
okay, so sort of Mass Effect-y in length as well then.
Yeah, but I guess it's got a lot more side stuff. I think that's to do the main story, and then there's obviously more outside of that. Like, because JRPGs you can plow hundreds of hours into if you really want.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the Tri-Ace games often suffer from a bit of sag. Do you know what I mean? When a game kind of lulls a bit in the middle, and you don't really want to.
You're grinding at that point.
Yeah, you're not compelled to go through the universe. You want to see how the story ends, but you know there's another massive, weighty chunk of the game that is just going to be ploughing and grinding, like you say.
Right, gotcha.
But I'm hoping that the fact that the combat system is so sort of zippy.
About Zippy at your service. No, Sodger.
And fresh is gonna stop that from happening. So I'm quite looking forward to this.
That'll push you through, the hundreds of hours.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And I just need to sort of get over the dead eyes issue.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get someone in real time to paint on the screen or something.
Yeah, just pretend they're all alien or something, Even though they're supposed to be humans, just pretend they've all been body snatched.
Well, again, that kind of fits the actual story of the game, because I suppose the humans to the aliens are alien.
Yeah.
So again, you've given me another reason to plough on with that.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just making all kinds of excuses.
We're giving Tri-Ace way too much.
Exactly. Here's some more rope.
You been playing anything nice, man?
Been just trying to find some new stuff, really.
Yeah.
Because we're getting into that kind of lull period before anything really massive comes out.
Yep.
I want to pick up The Witcher 2, but that's a massive game, and that's going to be taking up a lot of my life at the moment. So I'm just trying to avoid that and trying some new stuff obviously for the podcast and that. So
did you play the first Witcher?
No, I didn't. I heard such great things about it, and it was on the PC, and I was like, oh, I'll pick it up. And then The Witcher 2 came out, and that came out on the PC, and I was like, and then everyone was saying, oh, just get it. Oh, it's a perfect console game. It's going to be great when it comes to consoles. And I thought, right, I'll wait for that to come out on consoles and get it, which is great until I've now got to wait until I get paid before I can pick it up. So
I'm hoping it's not one of those games that they did quite a small print run, thinking it's going to be niche.
No, I think they've actually made the effort with this one, and it's quite a big run of games. So
good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. It's just a matter of once I get the funds, as it were. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then while I've been waiting, I've kind of been trying out a few demos and trials and stuff on XBLA, and heard a lot of people talking about, like, a bit of buzz coming out about the this Walking Dead adventure game by Telltale. And yeah, I know you I got on the Skype and told you to check it out as well. But I was really quite impressed with it.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Especially for it's on the Xbox. It's 400 points. I know they're only short episodes, but that's like
Yeah, no, it's like it's very, very affordable and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, admittedly, this is a trial, so don't it may completely dip in quality after the end of the trial. But
comes a
yeah.
Pac-Man clone after that.
Yeah, exactly. It turns into the original Mario Brothers. but or asteroids or something.
Yeah. Oh,
but
it's a nice twist, but I don't think it's what people want.
No, exactly. But no, I'm like really impressed with it. I really like the fact that they've gone with a kind of cell shaded style for the actual graphics on it, so it looks more like the comic books.
Yeah, they've gone for that sort of graphic novel, a bit like the Darkness 2 kind of.
Yeah, really like that. And then kind of it's very similar to the kind of the Back to the Future games I've been playing, where you get to fully control the character with the left stick and move them about, but then you can also point to certain objects and then click and it will just automatically walk over to them, and then you get the choice of using it, and it's your standard kind of adventure game tropes in that respect. But yeah, found it. There's a part in it that was really quite sort of unsettling and eerie, which you would expect for a kind of
well, it's almost a survival horror point and click.
Yes, yeah, but it was really, really kind of unsettling and unnerving, and but it's really weird because you got the cell shaded style. It's not tight. It doesn't kind of go full Resident Evil and like the original Resident Evil and really sinister and weird. It's kind of just on the right side of eerie and suspenseful.
Yeah,
it's really good, and it's just it really did blow me away as a quick time, like as a quick demo, as a trial.
Do you think you're in for the series now?
I might be, definitely, because they do some really, like, I've ranted about kind of quick time events.
Yeah.
And how I don't think they immerse you in the game and they take you out of it, and they're just thrown in for, a bit of extra bells and whistles.
Yeah, to cover an interactive cutscene tick box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it seems to work a hell of a lot better because you've got they use the right stick for you to be grabbing things. Like, as an example, I'll spoil the trial, but you're attacked by a zombie in the trial, and you've got to kind of swing the stick over to, put your hand up to move her away, and or swing the right stick over to grab a hammer to then hit the zombie in the face with. And there's actually but you've got to do it quickly, and if you don't, then you're going to get bitten and you could possibly die, and this kind of stuff. So there's a sense of urgency that these quick time events are, giving you to try and really ram home the point that you've got to do this quickly to kind of, or you're going to die.
There's also a bit more control over the quick time events, isn't it? It's not just press B.
It's not just mashing a button.
It's about the context of the scene that they're showing you, which...
Yeah, totally. Especially as you're in an adventure game where you can really frame a scene.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel a little bit more involved. So, yeah, sort of those quick time events were actually quite enjoyable in a way. So, yeah. So maybe I'm being converted on that one, but yeah, really enjoyed that. And then the kind of there's like a speech system in it, and you're chatting away, but it's timed. So you've only got a certain amount of time
to decide
to
your
pick
answer.
to decide your answer. And I really like that. That really sort of forced you into making a quick decision and just going with your gut instinct.
Yeah, that's an interesting mechanic, isn't it? And
yeah, totally.
There's one bit that you were saying that it seems like there's going to be consequences further down the line with what you say.
Yeah, well, yeah, like at one point, you get there's this little girl you find, and you say, look, come along with me because your parents aren't around, and I'll look after you and make sure you're not attacked by the zombies.
Yeah. And
you go out to the front of the house, and there's these two guys pushing a car. And one of the guys says, oh yeah, come on, you and your daughter can come with us. And then it gives you the choice of, I can't remember what they were exactly, but it was like, oh, I'm just a babysitter, yeah, I'm her dad, or I don't know her from a hole in the ground sort of thing. So I picked, I'm the babysitter. And he kind of looks a bit sheepish and goes, oh yeah, no, it's not my daughter, I'm just a babysitter. And then it comes up as a big thing on the top, like, such and such thinks you're the young girl's babysitter. So then I'm imagining that if I'd have picked, I don't know, from a hole in the wall, then he would think of me in a different way, and
there's going to be less trust in you and that relationship later on down the line.
Yeah. So I like the fact that there's a kind of consequence to some of the choices you're making.
Do you reckon that'll carry across the episodes as well as just within that one episode?
Oh yeah,
if it does, that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's like that, because that would be really interesting. Because you can have games that split off and have totally different experiences. Well, I'd imagine it probably won't be totally different experiences. It'll probably end up being that you'll end up hitting the same beats, but you'll get there in a slightly different way, or a more interesting way, or a less interesting way.
I bet they're throwing ideas and developers now at what they can do with that cutscene system, though.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Honestly, really like that. Really, really like that.
I think it stems from how they've sort of fine-tuned the approach to a point-and-click on the consoles.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you say, they've had like Sam and Max, the Back to the Future games, they had the Jurassic Park games that kind of bombed.
Yeah.
What else did they have? What else have they had?
The Monkey Island remakes, did you say that?
Yeah, Monkey Island remakes, yeah, as well. So they've had a good
fair
while,
crack of the whip, yeah.
And so, even on the consoles, to kind of iterate on it. So
this is the benchmark that I think they can now.
Yeah,
because a lot of their games have been PC only because they've not known quite how to. Adapt
but I
it
think
to consoles,
I think this really works with the right stick.
That's fantastic, and it's like having a keyboard and mouse almost.
Yeah, almost, not quite, but it's certainly more accessible.
It would be nice if they built in Move support for the PS3, wouldn't it? That's one of the few uses I can think of for the Move controller.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
would be really, really good.
Maybe there's Connect support. I haven't got a Connect, so I haven't tried that, but I'm wondering if it's got Connect support. We should look into.
Don't think it has, man, because it hasn't got that. Because it flashes them up as better with Connect.
Yeah, I suppose also it'd be too for some of the things where you have to do it quickly. So I know on a Connect you have to sort of get to a point and then hold it, and then for it to register. Maybe that's not
the amount of broken TVs through the kicking that zombie bit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I was blown away by that. I thought that was really good, really interesting, and I think I might pick that up as it goes. Like you say, 400 points.
It's at least worth doing the first episode just to see.
Yeah, exactly.
If you enjoy it, isn't it? It's almost like a paid demo, really.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna pick that up. I think I've got spare 400 points, so that'll be me next week. So I might come back to you on that next week and give you a bit more of a full impression of it. Good.
Look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, man. And then what else have I been doing? Tried a little bit of Outland. After you recommended it last week. Tried the trial for that, and that's really good. That was very much reminded me of a really, really pretty N+. It's very zippy, and it was a lot lighter on the controls than I was expecting it to be. Yeah,
the jumps are quite sort of, not powerful, but you zoom into the air. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you really take off. And but yeah, no, really enjoyed that. Be interesting to see when I buy it, how that flipping mechanic, that kind of platforming and flipping between the red and blue mechanic, if that can sustain the whole game, if they keep it interesting enough in the level design. But from the trial, I was really, really blown away. It was incredibly pretty.
I was a bit worried myself about the can this mechanic go anywhere? But they seem to open up new kinds of puzzle that use that mechanic all the way through, so it should keep you going, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm hoping. Anyway. So, again, I think I've got a spare 400 points, so that's going to be picked up. So again, might report back on that again. And then the only other thing I've been playing is SSX.
Oh yeah,
I picked that up a couple of weeks ago, and I've just been ploughing through this. Well, I've been ploughing through the single player, which isn't the most wonderful single player in the world, if I'm totally honest with you. It's very hard. Very hard game. I remember SSX, and it was kind of, it was like that, and 1080 snowboarding, and you'd get on a mountain, you'd fling down it. I mean, I know I've spoken about SSX already on the trial, but now I've got the full game. But it was like SSX, and it was just really kind of, you'd get on a mountain and fling yourself down, and it really didn't matter kind of where you went. You'd have a good time sort of flying down the mountain and jumping off a few things, and it was quite easy. And you'd always finish in the top. You'd finish third more often than not, and you'd felt good about it. So it made you feel good.
Yeah.
with this, it just seems so tight on how to, there's so much clutter in the environments.
It's a lot of slaps in the face, isn't there, on the way down the mountain?
Yeah, you sort of jump off something and then bang, you smash your head off like a tree or a misplaced girder, or it's just like pinball. You're sort of pinging off of one thing. You never feel like you're completely in control of your character. You just feel like you're kind of hanging on for dear life and hoping that when you go off a jump, you'll land on something at the other end, because maybe like on the physics, you'll hit a bump and that'll just take you that extra foot too far and fling you off the mountain. It's you never feel like you could control that. It just feels like, well, if I hit this and I hit a bump, that's it.
Do you think that's by design, or is it just bad level design? Are they trying to make it so that you've got depth for getting more skills as you progress, or is it just badly designed mountains?
It feels badly designed to me, in that they've put too much in the environment for you to hit.
Yeah.
But there could be an argument for the fact that I'm trying to basically boost all the way down the mountain, as go as much as possible, and that I'm actually not, slowing myself down to come off of certain things. But there's just weird things like you'll jump on one of the levels. You've got to kind of jump from one very incredibly thin ledge that's kind of almost like twice as wide as you. You've got to jump from a very, very thin, twice as wide as you ledge to another thin, twice as wide as you ledge. But that second ledge is on an angle, on a 90-degree angle to the one you've just jumped off. So you've got to kind of come off that original jump at just the right angle and just the right speed, or else you're not going to make it. And it's just so, they want you to be so ultra precise. And the physics don't seem to allow for that.
Yeah, the controls don't seem like they're built for that kind of precision platforming feel, really. No,
totally, and it just gets frustrating.
Do you think are you boosting down because of the rider net?
No, not at all.
Of it?
Not at all. It's the fact that, like, it says you've got to get a bronze medal, you've got to get down in, say, 2 minutes 23. But if you go down without any boost, you'll do it in 3 minutes 40 or something.
Yeah.
But then if you hold boost down continuously on a default player without, building him up, you'll only get down in like 3 minutes. So you've got to be constantly trying to get tricks and boost, and you're doing so much stuff all at the same time. You've got to make sure you get off the jump at the right angle. You've got to make sure you're going at the right speed. You've also got to make sure you're doing a flip and a trick all at the same time, as well as trying to spot the landing and then get enough boost off that landing to get. And it just seems it's just too much.
I think they might be missing something that was an important part of SSX, is that the boost was kind of your treat for having done really well for the previous bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You get a little while to boost rather than having to use it constantly.
Yeah, it just seems like if you're not because as soon as you've got no boost, you're just plodding along like at a snail's pace, and it's just like you're completely stuffed at that point. And then I've had things as well where the camera's got messed up, and I've gone off a jump and I've hit a post or something, and it spun me round, and then the camera is then pointing up the hill, but my character wants to go down the hill. But because the camera thinks I'm going downhill, though it's pointing up, it won't actually let my rider slide down the hill. If that makes sense?
That's weird.
So basically, the camera is trying to force my guy back up the mountain, and you basically permanently just stuck still on the mountain without being able to go anywhere. And I'll just have to restart the whole race again, because it's just, and I'm getting it like sort of once every 10 runs.
You'd think that would have been found beforehand, wouldn't you, if it's happening that often?
Yeah, you just get stuck, and you try and sort of maneuver yourself around so that the camera moves, and it's still trying to force you back up the mountain even though your guy wants to go back down. It's just so frustrating.
Is it compelling to play though, like the whole like racing against your friends aspect and that?
Well, yeah, once you get into it, once you kind of get a feel for fuck it, I'll just hold on for dear life and try my best. It still feels fun. And it still feels, it feels amazing once you twang yourself off of some incredibly large jump and you're just holding down one mega trick.
Yeah.
And you land it perfectly. It feels great. That feels like SSX all over again. But yeah, it's great. But the leaderboards do make it a lot more fun. But again, I've only got 2 people on my leaderboard.
Really?
You know,
Oh,
and
man.
I've basically, they had about 4 challenges each, and I went through those and I beat all their times, and you got a bit of money for it, and that was it. And that's the leaderboards done. It's not like trials from last week where I've got like 15, 20 people on my leaderboard, and it's really fun because there's loads of people below me, loads of people above me, and I'm chasing times, and everyone's interacting with each other, and it's all like a major event. You know, this could be the thing is, there's that system. There's the system in SSX is really, really, really well done and really well implemented, and it would be brilliant if anyone was on it. But no one's picked it up, as far as I can tell.
See, the publishers complain about, we really have to fight for day one releases. But in this case, they've kind of exacerbated that themselves, where if they don't sell enough, then I'm less tempted to buy it now that you've said, yeah, not a lot of people bought into it.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just like they've made the game so, I'll say difficult, for want of a better word, but they've made the game so difficult and so kind of more for the hardcore, that they've alienated so many people who would be on the leaderboards, and people who haven't picked it up. So it's sort of counterintuitive. You've got this amazing like leaderboard system, but no one wants to get on it because it's just too difficult.
See, the reason why the similar system worked in Need for Speed, was it Hot Pursuit?
Yeah,
is that was a burnout game. It was arcadey. Anyone could sort of jump in and do quite well.
It. Exactly, but what is nice is like, so okay, you haven't got the people on your leaderboards, or you've got the people on the leaderboards, but they're not really playing it anymore, so you've got no more times to play. So they've given you these global events, which is a really brilliant idea, and I wish it was implemented into more leaderboard games.
Oh, trials.
Well, yeah, and what they've given you is it's like a tournament that you enter. So with your in-game cash, you say for 1 million, coins, you will enter this tournament, and it's a 3-day tournament, and you've got to try and get the highest trick points that you can get on this track, right?
Yep.
And what it will do is you'll go down the run, and then it will grade you gold, like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, in brackets. And then as people do better or worse, they'll move up and down the brackets, but then the brackets will get more and more difficult to get into because the entry requirement to get into that brackets will be determined by the people that are in it.
It's kind of filtering at every step.
It's filtering it at every step. So where you start off, and to get into gold, you would need 3 million points. Over the course of a couple of days, it will suddenly become 7 million points to get into gold. So there's this constant need to do as many runs as you can, get a really high score, and then come back to it the next day and check it to make sure that you haven't dropped down, because each bracket has its own coin value associated with it. So if you get into bronze, you'll get your million. You'll get your million
your stake.
Yeah, you get your stake back. But like if you make silver, you'll get your stake plus an extra 50%.
Yeah.
And gold, you'll get double your stake, and then platinum, you'll get like triple your stake. So you're really always having to push to try and get your money back. Now, what ended up happening with me was I jumped into the global events, did about 4 or 5 of them, and had so much money that I was just like sitting on a big pile of cash early in game, like just out of the tutorial, and was just spending that money like water on like buying new boards, buying equipment, and all that kind of stuff for my riders, and then just like kind of annihilating the early mountains. So I was almost like ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So it's you can kind of break it if you want to, but it's
if that's just a way of getting deeper into the game quicker, then I can't see a problem with that.
Exactly, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I've had real good fun with the global events, and it's just a shame that not as many people have picked this game up to really kind of hear about it and know about it. And it's just a real shame. It's just a real shame because, like I say, it's just too hard. It's just too difficult for people to get into, I think.
The funny thing is, like, it seems to be one of those games that everyone said, yeah, everyone's going to get this one. It's going to be massive.
It's weird. It's weird. Like everyone was, SSX, brilliant. I haven't played that for years. Oh, wicked. Blah 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 blah. No one picked it up, or if they have, they're not playing it. But what I think is going to happen is they've got this new kind of tricky DLC coming out.
Yeah.
Where they're bringing out loads more courses that are very tricky like. And what I'm thinking is a lot of, once that comes out, people will go out, pick it up for like 20 quid on, 20 quid pre-owned, or, get it cheap off of some site because they're trying to clear it.
Yeah.
Pick up the DLC and then just play through all the tricky maps. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Or else
Not to
I've,
sound
wasted
stupid,
my
but
money.
you mean tricky as in more like the game, like more fireworks and craziness rather than
exactly.
Rather than more tricky as in more difficult, yeah?
No, more. Yeah,
Sure.
sorry, more tricky as in
Gotcha.
SSX tricky. But yeah, so less, and it'll be less like SSX 3 where it's kind of you've got a massive mountain and it's you against the environment. It'll be more like you say, like springs and springboards and tubes.
Well designed tracks rather than
exactly.
a mountain covered in stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So like I say, hopefully, I'm really hoping that people pick it up when that comes out because, like I say, if there's a lot of people on the leaderboards, I could actually see it being quite a fun game as a leaderboards game. So, yeah, so that's all I've been playing, man.
Man, are you looking forward to? Sorry, you just reminded me of SSX and like high scores. I've just realised Tony Hawk's HD is going to have leaderboards, isn't it? Obviously.
Oh, really? Oh, that'd be interesting.
That's going to be mad. Did you used to like them?
Yeah, I haven't played it since Tony Hawk's 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I used to love those games, just going around doing ridiculous combos and then, like, sort of chaining them into reverts and...
See, they've not got the revert, but they've said they're going to be introducing new tricks through DLC, which seems a bit sneaky to keep that one back, because that's how to get really high scores, isn't it? But
yeah, exactly. But
yeah, it looks amazing, man. For an HD remake, yeah, it's looking stunning, really stunning.
Excellent. You're churning out another Tony Hawk's.
Well, it's not though, is it? They haven't done a decent one in bloody years.
Is it going to be cheaper? A cheaper price point? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a XBLA game and PSN. It's 1,200 points, and you get levels from the first and second game, I think. And then there's going to be DLC packs of levels from the later games.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether it's worth getting that, or whether it's just cheaper to go out and buy a copy of Skate 2 and like.
Yeah, it's got a very different feel though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but it's a weird one, isn't it? I just want to see if people would actually pick it up when they've got kind of, since the Skate games have been so sort of changed the game a bit.
Well, the way Activision have played it was they were going to do this HD remake a few years ago and decided no, it's the wrong time. Tony Hawk's has got not a bad name nowadays, but since that, the stupid big plastic board, and
Tony
the
Hawk's right.
Wii downhill jam game, it's kind of that's where it really went downhill. But a lot of people say before that with the Underground games, and Activision are saying that now people are kind of hungry for a Tony Hawk's remake. So I'm hoping a lot of people pick it up and go crazy on it.
That'd be interesting to see how that sells.
Yeah,
I can't see that there's enough nostalgia around that old game that it's going to drive enough sales for people to pick it up.
Ooh, see, I'm going to differ on this. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But
yeah, no, exactly. We'll have to have a bet on it.
We'll work out if we've got a handshake at Dorka Patusa.
Exactly. See if it makes above or below a certain number.
Yeah,
that'd be cool, man.
Nice one.
So yeah,
game on.
Yeah, exactly. So anything else you've been playing, man?
Yeah, I had to do a factory restore on my iPod. So loaded up all the old games that I had on there previously.
Yeah.
And then there's one that I'd half forgotten called Time Geeks Find All.
Right.
And it's a bit like Where's Wally, I guess, but with pixel art.
Okay.
Like kind of like Where's Wally, or them hidden object games. There's dozens of them on the App Store.
Hunt the Pixel.
Yeah. It's a bit like that, but it's made for gamers. It seems a bit less of a sort of casual, cynical experience.
Okay, so what is it? Just like you just see a flat board, and it's like find this.
You see like an isometric pixel view. I can't remember the name of the Japanese artist, but it's a style that's kind of ubiquitous on the net at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Where you see an isometric retro looking,
like those BT ads.
Yeah.
Those. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that style, and then it will say, right, find this guy with like shades and a hat. And you have to search around, but then there's loads of visual gags going on in the rest of it, like a Where's Wally book.
Try and find this character in The Sims type thing.
Yeah,
It's like a 3D isometric Sims looking background, and then you're trying to find X guy hidden in, all this clutter.
yeah, it's a lot like that. So that's the
Okay.
sort of main bulk of the gameplay, and it's quite simple. But then it suddenly throws in, say, like a WarioWare type mini game. Like you'll do a few little find the guy puzzles, and then it will sort of go, right, now you've got to like stop the train, and then it will send like trains whizzing across the screen. You've got to like tap them to stop them at the right time. It just
So
sort
is
of
there
keeps shaking things up.
So is there a bit of a story to it, or is
Um,
it just random, like WarioWare?
there's a story that the time geeks are these geeks who travel through time.
Wow. How on earth did you ever work that one out?
Yeah, but it just gives them an excuse to go through a lot of different looking levels with the time travel idea. But since I got it, I think the free version you can get now is a sort of cut down version. But the full versions, they've even built in multiplayer since. It was one of those games that it was update after update last year.
Right.
Until it's like now a real weighty game. It's got the feel to me of a good first party DS game. Like a lot of real love and attention's gone into it.
Right. Like a Riven Heaven or something like that.
Yeah. It's got for an iPhone game, I think it's one of the closest to that Nintendo feel. And there's a free version, so I'd give that a go for anyone out there. So.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking of sort of pixel arty stuff, I've been...
Is that like the Illuminati?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The pixel arty.
The pixel arty. They have come. Like some kind of weird Dan Brown thing.
Yeah, that's the one, like 8-bit Dan Brown.
They have hidden pixel art all over ancient Rome.
The Da Vinci 48K code.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, so I've been playing a bit of Fez.
Oh yeah,
getting into that, and it's really good. Really enjoying that, man. It's I don't really know how much I can really say without kind of giving stuff away, but
the amount of spoilers I've already seen on Twitter. Like...
Yeah, it's kind of sort of 16-bit platformer.
Yeah.
With this really interesting like kind of world spinning mechanic where you kind of can cheat the perspective on things. And so you'd have like a platform that's miles away, but if you spin the world round 90 degrees, that platform will be almost next to you, and then you can use it as a platform to get across to somewhere else. So it's got some really interesting mechanics like that. But then there's other stuff that I've found out. Some other stuff that I've found out that's really given this game some hidden depth, which I really don't want to spoil, but it has really just blown me away. And I've been like, oh my God, this is like all of a sudden gotten really deep and interesting. And I just love it. It's just a really good chill out game for after work, because I've had a really busy week at work. Come in, sit down, put this on. It's really nice and bright and colourful. The music's really chilled and kind of nice and floaty at the start anyway. And it's just brilliant, just running around, jumping up and down, having a look in and out of these buildings, and just it's really nice to have a game that you can just explore in.
Yeah.
Because I love doing that, having games that you can just go off and just wander around and have a bit of an explore. I absolutely love. So it's just been really nice.
Are there sections where, say, you don't know what you can do on the earlier screens until you've learned something from something later? Can you go back and play with it again? Or?
Yeah, there's sort of, you'll go into a room and you'll spin the room around, and then you'll see something written on a wall.
Yeah.
And then if you know what that means, you can all sort of keep that in the back of your head and go, oh, that's obviously something that I've got to use somewhere else. I don't know what that's about. And then maybe an hour later, you'll come across another room and go, hold on, that looks exactly the same as that other thing that I saw scrawled on that wall. I wonder if I go back there and write that down and come back to this room and mess about and do it in that order, whether this will do something interesting in this room. And it's that kind of, there's a lot of kind of...
You can almost imagine the post-it notes on the developer's wall, can't you? Like, oh, so this, and then that, and then...
Yeah, no, totally. It's really like that. There's lots of kind of visual cues and like stuff like that.
It harks back.
Yeah, harks back to the game. Yeah. It's not... I wouldn't say it was like sort of a Metroidvania, but it's kind of... there's, like I say, there's lots of stuff to explore, and you've got to be very sharp and intuitive and kind of, lots of sort of sideways thinking. involved in the game. So yes, like I said, it's been brilliant for. The problem is like I say, it's been brilliant for chilling out and going off and exploring and just like kind of because each level is layered. So you'll go into a level and then you'll go through a door and that'll take you to another layer behind that. And then you'll go through another door in that layer, and that'll take you another layer behind that. And then all of a sudden, you've got to try and work your way back through all these layers to get back to the start and stuff.
Trying to get entwined in it.
Yeah, you get really, really, just deep into it and kind of lost. Like, there's been a couple of times where I've kind of been like, right, I want to get back to the main hub area. How the fuck do I do that?
It's funny how a lot of developers try so hard to make you not feel lost in a game with the hand holding. It's nice that someone's gone completely the other way and tried to make you feel like, hang on, I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, they have at strategic points given you warp gates, but I believe they only take you back to like the start of certain levels and stuff like that. So it's kind of a bit Zelda-y. I think Zelda used to do that with what's it like? So pot things you could jump into.
Oh yeah, I know the ones.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just blowing me away. But the thing is like I say, it's been chilling. I've been chilling out, but then all of a sudden the brain starts whirring. I find these things, and I'm trying to relate what I've just found to something that I've found earlier in the game, and all of a sudden I'm getting more and more stressed because I can't work it out.
Waking up at 3 in the morning, Eureka!
Yeah, exactly. I have it. But but no, it's like I say, it's really blowing me away, and it's one of those games that I can imagine in years to come people will go, yeah, look, like with people with BioShock kind of go, look at this game and what it's doing, and how it's changing things now in games.
Like it will be timeless.
It's one of those games that people will refer back to as an important moment. Yeah, and for what it's doing, it doesn't seem to show it on the surface, but once you get into it, it really will be kind of held up there as an important landmark in kind of game development, I think.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, but I've got such a backlog. And I'm just going to wait till I've got the 800 points sometime in the next month or so. So
yeah.
So we'll come back to this sometime when a lot of other people have played it, and we can cover a few spoilers.
Well, that's the thing is, I'd be really interested to see what you think of it, because I know this is your kind of game.
Yeah,
that kind of 8-bit aesthetic and platformy, and because I've been looking at getting Cave Story.
Oh yeah,
and this is what I thought. This is what I thought Cave Story was going to be like, and having played a little bit of Cave Story because I downloaded the free PC version.
Yeah.
And kind of, it's kind of similar, but Cave Story's like, as in the title, it's a story. Whereas this, I don't think is as much of a story, it's more of an implied story.
Yeah. It's more just an explore this crazy world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but no, I love it. Absolutely loved it this week. So, it's been really good. It's been really good. So, So, is that all of everything that we've got to talk about, games-wise?
I think it is for this week.
Yay. So here we go. Shall we get to a break?
Oh, I reckon so, yeah. Shall I go and top up my water?
Water. Okay.
Let's do it. Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Break.
Big shout going out to the Dixie Fried Chicken Posse. Walthamstow High Street. Keeping it real. Now listen, Bob. We got a new DJ here on Crackdown FM. But he don't come down to the studio. He phones it in. But he's going to rip this session up. Have a listen.
I'm starting to load. About to explode. I'm butchering code. Like so much roadkill. I've got more bars than Jeff Minter's Sheep Farm. And more hoes than Farmville, so. I'm the fire starter, main course, and dessert. I'm not on the ones and twos. I'm kicking it binary style on the zeros and ones. I look more dapper than Parappa, and he's crapper as a rapper. Who's the daddy? I'm your papa. Apple appointed. Take me seriously. Get it, Siri? Seriously? See what I did there? Oh, never mind. When it comes to the true games master, I'm Patrick Moore, and you're Patrick Less. I'm Dominic Diamond, and you're Dominic Cubic Zirconia. We all talk bruv. Press hash for game customer services Moroccan division. Press 1 for one love in their place. Press 2 to tango. Press 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Shout out to Gilius Thunderhead, Tyrus Flare, Axe Battler and the Golden Axe Gangster Squad. But word to the wise yo, kicking dwarves isn't big or clever, and they don't drop magic potions in real life. holding it down, like I'm on auto fire. All your baseline are belong to us. Much respect due to Cliffy B, the hardest working woman in the games industry.
Swear down, bruv. Cliffy B's a geezer.
What do you mean Cliffy B's a man? It can't be. I've seen how much hairspray she puts on expenses. Shouts going out to shouts going out to shouts going out to shouts going out to shouts. Oh bugger, I'm stuck in a feedback loop. Can someone press F5 to refresh please? Or Control-Alt-Delete? Have you tried switching me off and on again? I can feel a blue screen of death coming on. Peace out brethren, it's been emotional. Error. 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 Error.
And we're back. And this week we found some really nerdy news.
Hello.
It's really interesting though. Well, I think so. It's a guy has made. Do you remember the old Star Wars arcade cabinet?
Yes, mate.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
He's made one of those the size of a wine bottle.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? When I first heard about this, I thought he'd made the sit-down cabinet, and I thought, how are you supposed to get your little fingers inside this sit-down arcade cabinet that's tiny weeny, and then steer it? But then
you train a hamster to like play the game.
Exactly. But you know, then you showed me the picture, and it was a stand-up cabinet, and then it made much more sense.
Yeah. So, oh, I bet that guy gets all the girls, doesn't he?
Hello, I haven't left my house for 4 years.
Do you want to come round and see my Star Wars arcade cabinet the size of a wine bottle? Have you not got any wine?
Exactly.
No.
I'd rather like some wine and a meal.
Well, I've got a Mr. Do cabinet the same shape as a steak. Does that count?
Not really. No. I'll just be leaving.
I'm guessing he's an American. With that,
yeah.
I'm not being funny, but it's like one of those, when you hear about it, you think, oh, only in America.
Exactly. It's like that guy, Ben Heck, who makes those crazy, like...
Oh, yeah, he's amazing. The portable consoles.
Yeah, like the Xbox laptop and that kind of... The 360 laptop and the Atari 2600, like the size of a Game Boy and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's mad.
I love that he makes them look kind of like they would have been made at the time as well. Like the Atari one's got that weird sort of 70s feel to it and stuff.
Yeah, totally. I quite like the one he did on his show where it was a multi-disc changer for an Xbox 360.
Fantastic.
It was amazing. It was like a proper massive carousel like CD changer that he kind of ripped the guts out of and put a DVD player in. It's just really bodged together. He didn't really finish it properly, but it looks mental. Just sitting there going, right, next disc, next disc, next disc. It's brilliant. Didn't ever have to get up off his seat.
Who needs Blu-ray when you've got a disc changer, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I know that cabinet was wicked. Like even like the way that he's obviously scaled down all the side art stickers and got them absolutely perfectly in scale with the size of the side of the cabinet and stuff, and they all look like really dinky and lovely. Oh, it was amazing. I'd love. But
if you didn't know it was tiny, if you looked at a photo, you wouldn't have a clue.
No,
it's
exactly.
an identical replica.
It's only when you have that shot of the bottle of wine next to the cabinet, and then you realise, Jesus Christ, that's tiny.
It would be awesome, right, if he'd just bought a massive bottle of wine and he's on some massive scan.
Yeah, he's got one of those like magnums of champagne next to it.
Yeah, he's just got it next to a normal Star Wars machine.
Yeah, just fooling everyone with perspective. It's just really far away, Dougal.
Man, there's all sorts of ways you could have done this.
Yeah, man, totally.
The fact that it's fully playable, though, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I just thought, I'd love me one of those. So, yeah. So, what else we got on the news, man?
There's been rumours for years that Sony are doing a sort of Super Smash Brothers type game.
Yeah, I thought that was really odd.
What, the idea of it?
Yeah, well, like sort of Smash Brothers doesn't, is an odd game in itself because Nintendo have got all these licensed characters that they've just one day gone right. We're going to smash them all together into a game, and it's just always been a bit of a weird concept for me. So
at least with Nintendo, they're in the Nintendo universe. It kind of makes a bit more sense. Well, other than Sonic and Snake and people like that. But
yeah, exactly. But to have like Kratos versus
Parappa.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems a bit weird.
Oh, it's going to be great though.
Did you see all the things on Twitter where it was like, the Move controller versus, Fat Princess and stuff like that? people were coming up with mad like crossovers for like fights. It was
Oh,
quite
fingers
funny.
crossed they just throw everything at it though and make it as mental as people's dreams and then some.
Yeah, it's just going to be completely bonkers. Which I just can't imagine playing that game.
But yeah, it's going to be an odd one.
Yeah, why would you do? I just don't understand why you would do that. Because Sony's not exactly well known for its mascots, and then it just
maybe
seems
not.
a really odd. Seems a really odd fit. But
Possibly there is. I think there is a market for the Super Smash Brothers type party game beat 'em up, and maybe they've seen that there's not a Super Smash Brothers on the cards. Sod it, we'll jump in and
yeah, exactly. Try
it a shot.
and bag a market
Yeah.
on the HD consoles. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it in a way, even though I haven't got a PS3. I'm not saying it's going to be the game that's going to sort of twist my arm, but it does sound interesting, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so what else we got?
Well, we were talking a couple of weeks ago about in the coming sort of years, months, that all the companies are going to be finding it a bit tough financially.
We were talking about the future.
Yeah, we took a trip into the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it looked like everyone was suffering because Sony had just said they'd had massive losses and what have you. This week, Nintendo have posted their first ever loss.
Yeah, that's quite mad, really.
It is. So it looks like we're all in this together, as George Osborne says. And yeah, all the companies seem to be suffering under the current economic climate. But yeah, they've said that they predict a return to profit next year. So fingers crossed that'll.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because we don't want to lose the big old end, do we? So.
Well, and we don't want to not see the Wii U come out.
Well, yeah, exactly, because I'm very interested to see how that sort of pans out, because some of the stuff I'm hearing about near-field technology and being able to put things near it and that being transported into your game sounds really, really mad and interesting. So
yeah, you showed me the trailer for Rayman Legends. See, I'd seen the snatched video of the actual game.
Yeah, that looks amazing, by the way.
Oh, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks really, really good, especially with all that kind of crazy lighting and stuff they've put into it. Yeah, it looks mad. So yeah, having those kind of like figurines they were putting onto the Wii U and it kind of then populating the game with Rabbids and
I like that they've got the Ezio toy next to it as a little hint of.
Yeah. Well, are we going to do something? Yeah, exactly. I like that. That was wicked. Little teaser. But yeah, no, that looks amazing. So I can't wait to see a bit more about that.
Because with Rayman Origins, Ubisoft used this new 2D platforming engine they've come up with.
Yeah.
And when they were making it, they were like, "Yeah, this is going to be really easy for us to make new games with because we just create the art and the engine is so good it will just work." So I think the speed that this is sort of looks to be in development after Rayman Origins, I think it looks like Ubisoft weren't just sort of hyping up their engine. It looks like wow, they can just
really
knock out
can
games.
crash games out on it. That's excellent, man. Good for their bottom line, I should imagine, as well, if they can keep knocking out games quickly for not much money.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It'll be good for Nintendo if it ends up a Wii U launch title rather than coming out for the other systems sometime earlier and then coming out on the Wii U later down the line.
Well, have they got the money to chuck out getting exclusives, though, mate?
Especially on a 2D platformer. Like, I know Rayman Origins covered its money, but it's still not
It's a competitor, though, isn't it, mate? It's they're not going to have anything take over Mario, are they? Oh,
of course, exactly. You're going to want your Mario games as your big launch titles, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's been rumoured, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think we can once we know either a date for Rayman, I think we can get a good idea of a date for the Wii U, or vice versa. So
yeah, totally.
Wait and see which one comes first.
Yeah, but hopefully, they said they're going to get back to profitability by next year. So, yeah, fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah,
definitely.
Keep it looking positive and see how it goes.
Yeah.
There's been another bit of very nerdy news. Nvidia, the graphics card company, have announced they're going to make something called the GeForce Experience. Now, PC gaming has traditionally been a sort of system where you have to tailor it to your own individual computer because obviously the developer can't tell. There's so many models out there that
forums are always ablaze with, right, on this game you want to move your settings to this, and this, if you've got this card and this set of memory. And, it's always about how you can sit there and it's like hot rod culture. You want to kind of sit there and tweak all the settings and mess about with the internals and then get that really perfect experience,
Yeah.
And what this GeForce experience is, from what they've been saying, is that they want to have a program on your machine that then uploads your specs and what game you're playing to their supercomputer. That then determines like an optimal combination of settings for the game, and then tailors the drivers and the hardware and software for your specific machine, and then sends you all the relevant data that you need to make the game run absolutely perfectly and smoothly on your PC, and then fires the game up and away it goes. So you don't have to do any of that slider tweaking, and basically, like,
Yeah, but PC owners like all that slide.
well, yeah, this is the thing.
They love playing with those little numbers. Oh, it's 1080p.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah,
And I think it just takes away that sort of like fun side of it. Like,
yeah, but
you're not going to have your arguments of,
Oh, I'm running Crisis on hyper ultra super ultra technology. You're only running it on ultra super ultra.
I'd imagine it's probably a way of trying to get newer users into the PC experience, as they say, and try and make it a lot more accessible and try and take a little bit of that kind of nerdy stuff away,
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I do see this. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So
it's not made for the hardcore PC gamer, is it?
No, totally not. But I think it would be a really good way of, like, it almost comes to a point where if you're running NVIDIA kit, you can almost standardize all your, for developers, they can standardize to this bit of kit, this GeForce Experience app.
Yeah.
But then you as a user can use it to kind of just make it more of a console-like experience, and you don't have to worry about having to look for drivers on such and such or look for the latest patch. I mean, Steam does a lot of that at the moment anyway, like looking for latest patches of games and stuff, but this seems to be wanting to do everything. So, if they can do it, it'd be amazing.
Also, I suppose it's just an extension of the old NVIDIA, the way it's meant to be played, like trying to set a standard for
Yeah, totally.
PC graphics technology. So
yeah, but if
so
they
maybe
can,
it's sort of end game, and
if they can bundle, like, obviously that would take a massive chunk out of the ATI market if, like the other card manufacturers, because they wouldn't have that on their bit of kit, so everyone would be buying NVIDIA cards. So it's kind of a bit of a Trojan horse, but
yeah. Although, do you not think it would be quite easy technology to come up with?
Well, from what they're saying here, I mean, they are giving, like, from the little blurb that they've got on their site, they are giving it the cloud-based supercomputers. So I'd imagine it's not like an easy process, because there's got to be databases of different machines and motherboards, and there's a lot of
I suppose you've got to cover everything, haven't you? That they've obviously worked on over the years. Yeah.
So I mean, to catch up with that, I mean, admittedly, they are saying here that it's a 5-year project, so maybe they've only just started, and kind of, you've got 5 years from now, so maybe NVIDIA, what am I talking about? ATI could get on the case with that, but who knows? But yeah, it sounds really interesting. It's one of those things where I really do like. I've got a PC and I sit there and tweak and mess about with it, but I've got to that point now where I'm getting too old for it, getting too over that kind of.
You just want to play the games.
I just want to get a box. I want to put a few bits inside the box and go and hit the go button and
have it work.
Download stuff from Steam. So this would be amazing for me. I just have to turn my brain off and let the computer do what it wants to do. So that'd be amazing for me.
Good stuff. So that's one for you in the pipeline then.
Yeah, man, totally.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much all the news we got this week, isn't it?
All right, cool. So,
but we've had a couple of questions in. Well, we've had one question. Then we've got obviously Jace Stokes'
ongoing master plan of a question.
We've got that to come back to as well.
Yeah.
But we've had a question from Tony Atkins on the Kane and Rinse podcast.
Yep.
And he's asked us, have you ever gone back and played what is regarded as a classic game, only to find out that you really didn't enjoy it and couldn't see what all the fuss was about? This happened to me last week when playing Eternal Darkness for the Kane and Rinse podcast. Tony.
Excellent. Good question, man.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah,
this has had me racking my brain, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we've been thinking about this for quite a while, haven't we? So
yeah, totally. And see, I couldn't think of a game that I've gone back to that's kind of old that I didn't enjoy. And the first thing that popped into my head was a game that everyone seems to enjoy it, and I just hate with an absolute passion. And that's Alan Wake. I
don't think everyone enjoyed that. I think there's quite a sort of silent, not so silent minority, but
man, that
I'd
game.
agree with you.
That fucking piece of shit of a game drove me up the wall. Didn't didn't get it. It just
You
frustrated.
didn't like it then, no?
Well, no, it just yeah. Like, can you tell? No, it was just I just didn't get on with that game at all. Like I understand it's like sort of supposed to be weird and Twin Peaksy and what's going on, but I just didn't. I couldn't follow it. I found it really just obtuse for obtuse sake. I mean, admittedly, one of the only redeeming features in it was that Barry character. He was quite, or Joe Pesci is his name.
Yeah.
You know, but like he was quite funny, but like
Not enough to carry the game for you.
yeah, I just found like the burning off the ghouls kind of mechanic, and then having to burn off their darkness and then shoot them. Just found that really kind of quite shit.
It didn't add anything, did it?
No, it didn't. It just
It was just a bit of wallpaper over the same shooting,
Yeah,
trying to make
totally.
it look like it was something
And like I had so many numerous experiences of like you're supposed to run from one light generator to another light generator, and I had one experience where I spent 35 minutes running between the same two fucking lights because every time I'd run from one light to the next, all these guys in these black ghoul-like creatures would come out from nowhere and start attacking me. I could never get to the next light, and I'd have to run back, and it was just getting so frustrating. Just this, Alan. You could just imagine it, sort of Alan Wake going, "Oh, I'm going to get to the light. No, I'm not going to get to the light. I'm going to get to the light. Oh, I'm not going to get to the light." For like 35 minutes. If anyone had like sort of looked over into this field to see what he was doing and going, "Yeah, he's gone nuts." But it was just, I didn't get on with that game. I didn't understand it, and it was just like, it got to the point where I saw it as an enemy, and I was kind of like, I was ready to quit, and I was just like, I can't deal with this flipping game. It's rubbish.
But then you don't want to let it beat you either, do you?
Yeah, and then I got no, I'm not going to let this game, this piece of shit game beat me. I'm going to beat this game. I'm going to crush it into the ground. I'm
You,
gonna finish
Alan.
it. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to take you and your crap pun name, and I'm going to stomp this disc into the ground after I'm finished with it. And it's like, oh yeah, like just powered my way through to the end of it, and then snapped the disc in half and threw it away. I could not stand that game. Honestly, did my head in.
I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it. I got really caught up in the pre-release hype for that one.
Yeah.
It was not long after I'd got my 360, and then like everyone seemed to be so up for it at the time. And then I got myself the limited edition delivered with all the extra stuff, like the supplementary stuff, like the little book that adds to it all. And then the gameplay just seemed so pedestrian.
Yeah, it was just
Just another third-person shooter. I was expecting a bit more of the survival horror to play into it.
wandering from one dimly lit path to another dimly lit path to a dimly lit house to a dimly lit something else to find some whatever. Do you know what I mean? It was just like the whole game was just like whatever.
Do you think you would have preferred it if it was what the original design was, which was a sandbox game where it was like an open world GTA
I don't
type
think
thing?
I would have enjoyed it in any way, shape, or form.
So the whole atmosphere put you off, yeah?
Yeah, you could have made it Mickey Mouse's Castle of Illusion, and I wouldn't have fucking enjoyed it. I don't know. It's one of those. Something didn't click with me. in
Good
that
production
game.
values, though.
Yeah, no, it was very, very pretty. I'll give you that. There was some amazing effects in it, but kind of, I just sat at the end of that game going, "What the fuck was that all about?"
Chazzy was sitting there saying, "What the fuck is this game all about?"
Just don't. Ugh. So annoying.
"Just don't."
Stop
It's the way
copying
he
me.
iterates everything that's going on in the world around him.
Yeah, like I said, it's just there was something in that game that just didn't click with me. And like hearing people on, what's the most annoying bit is I listen to podcasts and I like listening to guys going back and talking about games like they do on Cane and Rinse.
Yeah.
And like I'll listen to people talk about it in these glowing terms. Oh, the story. Oh, it was amazing and it's just so intricate and blah blah blah, and the characterization and like, and I'm just like, did we play the same game? Because I played a really fucking shit, boring, convoluted, weird fucking game that made no sense. Like, I know I probably sound like a Philistine to everyone who loves that game, but that game.
I don't think there's as many people that love it as you think, man. I think history will see it as a solid 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Really?
I know you're saying probably lower than that, but I think the past couple of years have seen it. I've said this before, where games get reevaluated over time, and I think people look back at Alan Wake as, actually, we went a bit overboard on that at the time.
Just bonkers. But what about you, man? Is there a game that you've kind of gone back to and gone, oh no?
Yeah, there is, but I'm not quite sure it's the same thing. It happened with Fallout 3 with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that game.
I love the atmosphere. I love the juxtaposition of like the traditional Americana with the kind of bleak otherworldliness of it.
Yeah.
But my eyes were just pleading with me to turn the thing off because of the overdose of brown. So again, it's not quite what Tony's saying, but it was just I could not carry on playing it. It was just so oppressive.
So yeah, but part of that game is the fact that it's a nuclear wasteland, and it's supposed to be an incredibly depressing, bleak place that you're exploring, and it's kind of you trying to make the best of the worst situation imaginable.
Yeah, but that's like saying, but Gordon Ramsay, it's a tasty sandwich because it's meant to be made with dog poo. Do you know what I mean? That's the recipe.
But come on,
I don't see why you're saying you don't like it.
How can you have a post-apocalyptic wasteland and not be brown and grey and destroyed, scorched earth?
Well, New Vegas seems to manage it a bit better.
Yeah, but part of the canon in that is that Vegas didn't take as much of the brunt of the blow.
And it kept electricity. Yeah.
And there was water and blah 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 blah. So that's how they can kind of explain that one away.
Exactly. They felt a need to write their way around the fact that a lot of people were sort of turned off by the beigeness of it all. So
for people who haven't played Fallout 3, quick spoiler, did you ever get to the green area of Fallout 3? Or did you never make it that far?
No, but I've got like 30 or 40 hours on the clock, so I should have probably got there by now. But
there's a great area. It's at the top of the map somewhere, and it basically is like a bit of an homage to Oblivion, and it's like a massive green fertile area hidden away in this kind of, in between some rocks.
Yeah,
it's amazing, and you get to see this. I've forgotten the guy's name, but it's basically he's a reoccurring character in the Fallout series who is turning into a tree over time, and like you find him in Fallout 3 and he has actually turned into a tree, and he's actually communicating with you, and he's just like, basically, kill me, I don't want to be stuck here forever with these weirdos around me kind of worshipping me as some ancient deity kind of thing. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that's cool. I do like the sort of characterization and the whole atmosphere, but the game left cold.
Like I said earlier, man, like I love like exploration in games, but Fallout 3 for me is like the ultimate in exploration games. I just love walking around and finding some weird crevice or canyon that I didn't know was there, or I know what you're saying about it being bleak, but I fully like kind of got into the role playing of kind of
I do see that I'm missing the point. So
but is there sometimes when you talk about like kind of did you enjoy it and everyone else, like with people with Mass Effect, for like you see a lot of people going, I really didn't enjoy it, and then you go, well, did you understand this and this? And I go, oh well, like I think I heard it on Last Save Loaded, like one of the guys was saying he really didn't enjoy Mass Effect at first, and then left it for ages and ages and ages, and then came back to it, but had a completely different mindset on it when he came back to play it, and suddenly he could see all these, the cloud was lifting and he could see what was going on.
Like all the nuances and what have you. Yeah,
it's just like it's a weird mindset, and sometimes your brain is just at complete odds to what the developer's trying to show you, and you just don't click with it. Not saying that you can ever get back to that state. Sometimes you can, and you can get to that. Oh, I see what the developer's trying to do. But sometimes it's just the way you think and the way the developer thinks are at such odds that maybe you just don't get on with it. It's no one's fault.
I totally agree, and that happened with me with Mass Effect, where a long break ended up that I kind of wanted to go back to that universe. It felt like it was drawing me in by not playing it. So I do see what you're saying, that sometimes it's your mindset that
totally
it's there, and especially with Fallout, I went into the game straight off the back of Oblivion. So it's a very similar game. Obviously, it's like almost the same sort of engine with different wallpaper. I need to stop saying wallpaper, man.
Yeah, exactly. You've been doing too much decorating, mate. It's on your brain.
Yeah, you know. But if I had to, if I'd have got to that bit that you're saying in Fallout that was kind of a tribute to Oblivion, I probably would have thought it was the game taunting me. So I'm quite glad I didn't get there.
It would have wound you up more.
Yeah, look what you could be playing right now.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, other games, like games that I've gone back to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the classic one that I think everyone's probably had is GoldenEye. Because you've played that, and I have such rose-tinted memories of, going out clubbing till 3, 4 in the morning, stumbling home in a taxi, 4 of my mates, piling into my house, putting in 4 controllers, and then just playing GoldenEye until 9, 10 in the morning, and then all just crashing out. The last one.
Yep.
Last one awake is the guy who wins the GoldenEye trophy. And I just remember it as being like this really fast-paced, action-packed, smooth, amazing kind of game with amazing graphics that just was the ultimate multiplayer shooter. But I do this thing called Geek Fest where we have like a bunch of guys get together and have a LAN party about once a month, and we get all our PCs together and we play like Call of Duty online on LAN and Battlefield online on LAN and that like military shooters.
Yeah.
And one day we said, I'll tell you what we should do is really go back to our roots and do GoldenEye. So we hooked up GoldenEye to this big sort of 52-inch plasma, turned it on, and then just went, oh my God, it looks disgusting. Oh, and it's all like really, the frame rate's about 2 frames a second. And like the chopping animation's disgusting, and it's horrible. Turn it off.
The faces that were photorealistic at the time now look borderline Downs, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, this is grim. Can't play it. But
I think Rare were really lucky with their timing there, weren't they? It's just because unless you'd played first-person shooters on the PC, you didn't know what a first-person shooter was supposed to be like. So
yeah, exactly. Especially trying to port one over to it wasn't a port GoldenEye, but trying to bring that experience to a console.
Yeah,
there was a lot of kind of testing of the waters.
Yeah, and they did a very good job for the time. But as you say, we've now been so spoiled with first-person shooters. It's one of the genres that's kind of gone in leaps and bounds evolution-wise over most of the others. So,
but it was like doing the whole. There was no right stick, so you had to do it digitally off of the
face buttons,
off the face buttons and stuff. Oh, just really, honestly, it completely broke my heart. Completely broke my heart, man. So have you had anything like that?
Where you've gone back to a game that I really loved before?
Yeah, totally.
I haven't really. Well, other than I'd agree with you on GoldenEye, and probably with quite a lot of N64 games, but that's only because of the sort of blurriness of it is quite off-putting. Not necessarily for the gameplay. There's one game that everyone seems to rave about that just doesn't click with me, and that's Lumines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
know it's such a simple game on the PSP or PS2 or Xbox Live or wherever. And it's a game that I wanted to like. I like the soundtracks. I like the sort of graphical style, but the actual gameplay just doesn't grab me at all.
So what is it about? I mean, it's blocks.
It's a dropping blocks game crossed with, say, Cubase or like Fruity Loops. You've got the time.
Comparing it to Tetris, which everyone I don't think that anyone's ever got a bad word to say about Tetris. So
other than it's fucking boring.
All right, there's one person who's got something bad to say about Tetris.
No, it's a good game.
It seems to be you
Columns is better. Columns is better than Tetris. But anyway.
But like I said, so if Tetris is all right, if we agree that Tetris is an all right game,
yep,
Mardy bastard, right? Then what is it about Lumines that isn't a good game for you?
It just doesn't have that compulsion that Tetris has. You're not. Perhaps it's the width of the screen, or the fact that the time bar just keeps knocking the blocks down every pass of the bar. Like every time the music goes through a bar, it knocks out the ones that you've got in place.
You feel too under pressure to get stuff done quickly. You can't sort of
almost the opposite in that I don't feel the the compulsion, because it keeps removing the blocks like every 4 or 5 seconds.
So it's almost like, oh well, you keep taking it away, so why do I bother?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of feel. I just
You're weird.
I just don't get it. I know it's such a simple puzzle game. Well, have you played it yourself?
I have. I love it. I actually
cool.
prefer it. I prefer it to Tetris.
Wow.
Yeah, that and what's the Chime? Chime, which is like a
quite
kind
simple,
of,
isn't it?
which is kind of been said to be a sort of derivation of Lumines anyway.
Yeah.
But I love that. You know, I really love that. But I like the fact that it's just clearing out space for me to keep dropping more and more stuff in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's doing me a favour, that line going across and clearing out the rows, because then I can get more and more stuff in and I can build the points up and build the points up.
Oh yeah, if you feel that compulsion, it's a very clever mechanic.
Yeah, totally.
So you see that.
Yeah,
and again, I'm not saying that it's a problem with the game. It's a problem that I have with the game. If that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Difference there, isn't there?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe I might try the one on the Vita. I mean, I tried the demo and I did like it more than I've liked the previous games.
Well,
even
apparently
though it's
the new one on the Vita is supposed to be a little bit easier, from what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because of the screen and the kind of, you know, thumbsticks and touchscreen controls, and you know, it's supposed to be a little bit more user friendly.
Yeah.
But the thing is I think that with you, it sounds like it's the kind of overall mechanic, you know, the basic mechanic of the game that's actually putting you off. So maybe.
I think it might just be that there's so many puzzles out there. Like if you've got an iPhone or an iPod Touch, there are so many puzzle games out there that are quite similar in mechanics that there's such a choice that I can't really see the need to go back to one that didn't grab me like that.
So you've got an iPhone game. Oh, it's match 3, you say? I've never heard of it.
Although, have you ever played Puzzle Quest?
I love Puzzle Quest.
It's good, isn't it? I love that they've sort of married the traditional RPG with a match 3 game. I
will literally fight you. Can I tell you a little story about Puzzle Quest?
Yeah, go for it.
It might be quite sweet, but it's probably not. I'm not allowed to play Puzzle Quest without my girlfriend because she loves it that much. So we have been playing we've been trying to go through the like single player campaign, like, you know, passing the controller, and we've been together 6 years. And we're still not completed the game yet.
Wow.
It's still going. It's like
that's amazing.
Yeah. So yes, it's like the longest running game I think I've ever played.
But then she doesn't live in Kenya and you've only seen her twice, so I guess you don't get to play it very often.
Hello, Mark. Why do you not fly me over anymore? Sorry, love.
I want to play the Puzzle Quest.
Eddie, why you not offer me lately? Sorry. Sorry, anyone from Kenya and Africa. I'm sorry. Sorry. My family are from Africa, so I'm sorry, but yes.
Sorry if we haven't really. I don't know if we've skirted around Tony's question, but we've sort of covered. But yeah, I'd say I'd agree with you totally on Alan Wake. And other than that, when we were looking back over games from the past, we found that most of the ones that a lot of people say they've gone back to and don't like, we didn't actually play because they're not known as good games. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those ones where you have kind of selective memory. You go, everyone's saying that's rubbish. I am going nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Not touching it. Sorry. Just not. I have not enough time in my life to go and touch those games.
Or if it's one that you've played before, like GoldenEye, you kind of don't want to go back to it because you know that you'll be disappointed.
Like
you kind of want that memory in your head of how it looked at the time.
Yeah, you don't want to go back to those Wii remakes and the HD remakes because you just think like, oh, you know, I don't want to spoil the memory. But yeah, it's
I quite
a weird
like
phenomenon.
HD remakes though. They can milk that cash cow, man.
But it's a weird phenomenon though, that kind of everyone else is raving about it, and you just cannot, for the life of you, see it. It can be. You've got to be quite strong to be able to stand up and go, yeah, hold my hands up, guys. I don't get this.
Yeah.
You know, it does kind of show you sometimes it just, you do question yourself on that kind of stuff. Like,
certainly, especially in the first few weeks of a game's release where the hype is crazy and everyone's online playing it.
Yeah. So. See, I found that what I try and do, I mean, admittedly, I haven't since I've been starting this podcast, but I found that what I liked to do was get buy a game 3 months after it came out, even if it was like, you know, the biggest release, and, you know, if it was a Mass Effect 3 or a, you know, GTA 4 or something, or a Modern Warfare, I'd always pick it up like 3 months after the game had come out, let that hype die away, so I could judge it without any of that stuff going on and without like kind of outside influence, or as little as outside influence as I could have. You know, I'd obviously hear about people talking about it on podcasts, and I'd hear people talking about it, you know, at work or whatever. But it made me really kind of doing that made me kind of really concentrate on the game and make my own mind up about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do for the most part now with games, is like, don't get them day one and see how the land lies after.
Yeah, it's weird.
After a
Hype
little while.
is a very weird thing.
The problem is, if it's a game that does take off online, then everyone else is so far ahead of you by that point that sometimes
it's weird. It's
not worth you
you
playing the multiplayer, because you're never going to get the chance to build up to those levels, or maybe people have stopped playing the game after those first couple of months.
I mean, it's particularly bad with
the community's gone.
Yeah, it's particularly bad with like shooters at the moment. Like you had that thing with Battlefield where we tried to play, and you were just so frustrated with it because you couldn't. There's an initial hump you've got to kind of get over to get up to speed with everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just spawn die, and you know, is it really worth your time to?
Especially by the time I have done it, the hive mind is going to be like flies hovering over a different game somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. But so sorry, Tony, we've completely digressed and gone on to a completely different topic. But
I think we've pretty much answered that though, and I look forward to seeing what he thinks of Eternal Darkness, especially because it looks like I think the others might have quite liked this one.
All right, cool. So that's going to be an interesting discussion.
Yeah, definitely. I love it when the best thing is when one of them really hates a game and the others don't. Do you know what I mean? I love the dynamic.
Totally. Yeah, because I know Tony's playing through Bulletstorm at the moment, and they've got a Bulletstorm show coming up. So I'm going to be really interested to see what they have to say about that, because I had that game on the PC, and I had no one to play it with, and it seems to me like a real like sort of co-op shooter that you're supposed to kind of go through with a group of mates and use it as kind of like a you know, like shoot people and get points and money and blah 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 blah.
Kind of like a management team bonding exercises. Like a day out making drafts in a field, but
a very weird paintball session.
Yeah,
yeah, but no, I mean, like
True story, man. My boss booked us a paintballing session, except he accidentally booked us ball painting.
Not balls. Like actual, you know.
Yeah. Oh, we had to sit there with them little tins of Humbrol enamel, painting our testicles.
So you did get what I meant. All right, fair enough. I've got a great. This is completely digression again, so sorry, but great paintballing story. The only time I've ever felt like I've ever been in a video game in real life. Right, we're playing paintball. We've gone off on a corporate away day, and we've been taken down. I think it was Bournemouth. And to this old army barracks that they've converted into a paintball place. And we're all sitting in this big mess hall and they're giving a presentation. And then suddenly the back doors of this mess hall burst open. Jeep comes flying in, skids to a halt. 4 guys jump out with machine guns. Get on the floor! So everyone's like, oh my God, what's going on? They grab the MD, tie him up, put a blindfold on him, chuck him in a Jeep and zip off. And then
you could have still gone back to the office. That would have been fucking awesome.
That would have been amazing. But what ended up happening is the guy reads a list of demands, right? And you've got to do this mission and this mission and this mission to get your MD back, right?
Yeah.
And like one of them was like, we all go out in speedboats, and you've got to go and find these like certain boys out in the wherever it was, in the lake or whatever, and get the clues off the boys, and then once you work out the clues, it's like a really fucking over the top treasure hunt,
like a fetch quest.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But like the bit that I was getting to about video games is we were playing paintball, and what they had was these low barrack buildings with all the windows knocked out, so you could run up, step into the window, and then be straight in the barrack building and hiding. It was all very Call of Duty, and you were there hiding away in this barrack building, popping out, shooting through the windows. So I've got my kit, I've gone running through this, I've gone stepped up onto this window, gone to step down onto the floor, just as I've stepped down onto the floor, I've seen someone pop into the window and take a shot. As that bullet has come towards me, my foot has hit the floor. I've skidded on a big pool of water that was in this on the floor of this barrack building. I've gone straight. My feet have gone straight up above my head, right, like splayed out.
Yeah.
My head's gone back, and as my head's gone back, I've watched the bullet go straight across my nose and it hit the wall behind me. And
Proper
I've landed,
Matrix style.
Yeah, Matrix style. Landed on my back, looked up, pop, 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 straight in the guy's face.
Nice.
It was amazing, and I just felt so like my coccyx was killing me, but like it felt so badass, like just lying there in pain, but like, oh yeah, I got that shot. That was amazing.
Oh, sweet, man.
Yeah, it was wicked, man. It was really, really wicked. So yeah, that was it's my.
And I guess that helped you get your MD back. If you hadn't have done that,
yeah,
who knows where he'd be now? He could be beheaded on the internet.
Well, what ended up happening was then they picked the best team of the day, and they put you in this blackout house, like a bungalow.
Yeah.
With tripwires that set off smoke grenade type things.
Yeah.
And you were all blindfolded. It was like completely black. You couldn't see where you were going, and then you had to work out from sounds and people outside giving you directions, like from a map, where you were to get round this blackout house to then get to the MD who was tied up at the end, and then like you had to extract him.
You're making it sound
wicked.
like Crystal Maze.
Oh, it was totally Crystal Maze. Yeah.
Let me out!
Exactly. I was just waiting for Richard O'Brien to be going, "Oh, Mumsy, you know, oh, you've got 4 crystals. That'll give you 10 seconds in the crystal dome." Yeah, man, it was cool.
I just love it where their hand was like sort of 1 centimetre away from picking up the crystal. All they needed to do was grab it. And they're like, let me out, I can't do it. And they're like, no, it's just there. Just pick it up, it's just there. No, let me out.
You know they were they were sitting in the pub afterwards going, you could have picked that up. Like, really, I'm not buying
or they just left
pint.
them like locked in the room forever.
I'm not buying you that pint. You could have picked that up and come straight out with it, lazy bastard.
I could have got another 20 gold and less silver if we'd have got that.
Yeah, exactly. You just made me look really stupid in my crappy 90s jumpsuit.
So yeah, welcome to the Video Games Podcast, talking about Crystal Maze.
Welcome to the Crystal Maze Podcast, where every week we discuss the finer points of the Crystal Maze.
Mind you, there was the old pub machine, wasn't there? Do you remember the Crystal Maze video game in the pubs?
We need to get off this.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to relate it back to video games, so that sort of segue
yeah, totally.
into
segue
Jay Stokes' epic feature.
Yes, we do. So this week's 2 games to fight it off are R-Type versus 1943.
Yep.
And Sonic versus Mario, and we're basically doing this to work out how
which
hardcore.
is best?
Yeah,
Right.
well, how hardcore we are as gamers, and which is the best in our opinion. So, which one do you want to start with? R-Type 1943 or Sonic versus Mario?
Should we just start with R-Type versus 1943?
Go for it, man. Right, you start.
Right. Well, R-Type. Should we give them a quick once-over so people know what we're talking about?
Yeah, go for
Right.
it.
So R-Type, side-scrolling shooter from IREM, known for the fact that you can build up a charge shot.
Yep.
Rather than just having to hammer the button and have little bullets, you can build up a charge shot and have a massive bullet going across the screen, destroying everything.
So, it's left to righty.
Yep, left to righty. Whereas 1943 is bottom to toppy.
Yep.
So that's a top-down shooter.
And they're both shmups, yeah, we've said that.
Yeah, they are sort of early shmups. They're not kind of quite your bullet hell style that we have nowadays.
Bullet hole. That's a different type of game. The bullet hole shooter.
Entirely. So I like them both. I think R-Type stands as the more solid classic.
Really?
Over time. Well, yeah, just because of the has a sort of tighter level design and more level design. I think like each level is looks different. You're going through the universe. It's kind of got a sense of progression to it.
Right.
Whereas 1943 is more just, oh look, there's some sea, or there might be a little island. There's some sea. Here's a battleship. Here's some sea.
But do you not find that 1943 is a lot more of a what's the best way to put it? Like more simple and just giving you the pure gameplay of an arcadey experience of just there are waves and waves of enemies, and you've got to do your level best to get through the bullet hell and, take down all these different waves and then end up with a boss monster. It's just simple, pure mechanics, but really done well.
Yeah, it's more fun to play. I'm not denying that. It flows better. It's a much faster paced game, isn't it?
More twitchy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got that kind of like, oh shit, left, right, up, down kind of approach to it. R-Type's a bit more considered, isn't it? A slower paced game.
Yeah.
Although it's hard as all nails.
True. But that's just old school games in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I just didn't know if it sounded like we were saying that R-Type didn't offer a challenge because it wasn't as fast paced. But it's a much harder game than 1943, I think.
Right.
But yeah, I think one will be more remembered fondly by history, and one I prefer to play.
Right. So we've got to make a decision. Right.
Yeah.
If you're on a desert island, right, and they're going to airdrop you in one arcade cabinet, right, and
it has to be one of those.
Yeah, and it's not going to land and crash and crush the screen. They're going to put it down nice and gently.
Can I have a wine bottle instead?
No, it's not the size of a wine bottle. It's a
proper cabinet,
proper full size cabinet, and you've got some form of wave generator generating electricity, right? Which one of these are you going to pick, and why?
That's a toughie. See, for a desert island, sorry for explaining my reasons, but I don't think I'd go for 1943, even though I'd much rather play it. But I'd have R-Type because I'd have all the time on the desert island, and maybe I'd finally be able to get past that fucking level 4 massive ship thing in the arcades. I've done it on the Master System, and I can't do it on the arcade version. So yeah, I'd take that for the practice.
Excellent. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, for me, it's a no-brainer. It's R-Type all day because though I really enjoyed 1943, and I think it holds a place in my heart as one of those very early games that I used to play as a kid. Because it was simple enough for me to play. R-Type was the one that really drew me in at the time because it had that kind of Geiger inspired art, and it just looked different, and it had all the little all the bells and whistles of the orb on the front that you could attach to the ship, and that would upgrade and all that kind of stuff, and that was always really interesting. And yeah, it was just on that as a side point. Do you remember those? There was a lot of games at that time that were really inspired by kind of meat-based backgrounds. Everything everything looked like you were fighting your way through an intestinal tract.
Yeah, or loads of brains and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was just weird time. Why that was a thing, I don't know. But there was so many games that were like that.
It's probably, as you say, that Geiger was quite a sort of 80s icon, wasn't he? So
yeah. I suppose it was around about the time of sort of Aliens and that kind of thing. So maybe it was just from that. Maybe I don't know.
Because, the some of the bosses in R-Type could have come straight from the Geiger design book.
Oh yeah, totally. I think the first level boss is pretty much a queen alien, isn't it?
Yeah, except it's red, so they changed it.
They changed the colour.
I love that boss. It's got a little face in its stomach as well, isn't it? That you got to shoot.
Yeah, exactly. You got to shoot the face. Exactly. Like Quato from Total Recall.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
I've never spotted that reference. Well done there.
Great.
Right, so R-Type's our winner in the roundup for those two.
Exactly. So here's the biggie, the age-old classic. In the red corner, weighing in at pretty fat, is Mario.
It's me, Mario.
It's me, Sara Mario. And in the blue corner, weighing in at a spiky, not quite as fat as Mario, a Sonic the Hedgehog.
Woo, woo, woo.
So yeah, Sonic versus Mario. Completely mental introduction.
It's all right. It's like you say, it's an epic fight that's been talked about for nigh on 20 years now, isn't it? So
yeah, man. Yeah. So it's the biggie. Where do we start?
Well, I know where we finish. Should we start at the end and then work our way back?
No, that would be awful.
Do you reckon?
Go on.
Well, I think there's no denying that in the grand scheme of things, Mario has better games than Sonic does. Do you know what I mean? I think that's pretty much a given at this stage.
I think popular opinion would say that. I think you'd find a lot of Sega fanboys coming around your house to cut you with kebab knives.
Oh no, they don't really. Look, they've gone against Sonic now.
Recently, I know in the last few years that they haven't put out many decent games, but I think there's been quite a lot of interesting games that Sonic's been in. I mean, I'm just looking,
definitely. And Sonic 2 still stands up. That's a pretty good platformer. But
exactly. But I'm looking down this list. I'm looking here at the kind of information we got about the two guys.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could dig up was that Sonic has been in over 150 games, which includes games he's actually starred in and cameo appearances.
Yeah.
And Mario has appeared in, according to Games Radar, 188 games with cameos. So there's not a massive difference between, the library of games that they've produced, but there probably is a massive difference in the level of quality of games that they've been in.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Mario is almost a sign of quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it says Mario Tennis, you know that it's going to be a half decent tennis game.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is on, you know it's going to be a decent version, albeit slightly sort of sanitized. It's going to be
but you've got to say that Mario has had a head start on Sonic by a good 15 years, 20 years.
Not quite 20, about between 10 and 15. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So you've got to say that Sonic's, playing devil's advocate, he's had.
But that's because he's faster. Of course, he's going to have more games.
Oh, he's going to catch up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like he can run from one game to the next quicker than Mario can.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got to give it the fact that he's had less time to get to that 150 plus games.
Yeah.
Than Mario has. So that's quite impressive. But
it is. But then again, does it speak to the quality of those games? That
yeah. I mean, let's talk about. I mean, let's talk
the actual
about
core series, like the 2D platforms.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go with the top 3 games that you would say Mario's been in, and Sonic have been in.
Right.
Go.
So my top 3 for Mario would be Super Mario Brothers 3 at number 1.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers 1, and then probably Super Mario World if we're going 2D.
Yeah, totally. So for me, it's probably Super Mario 3.
Yeah.
But there's a story connected to that I can never reveal. But yes.
Were you in the film The Wizard?
No. No. It involves ladies and girls at the time, and when I was at school, and I'm not going any further than that. Then there's I'd have to say honestly, Galaxy. I really, really was blown away by Galaxy.
Oh, I didn't know we were allowed 3D games. Yeah.
Yeah, so Galaxy.
Galaxy's brilliant, isn't it? It's the game I wanted as a sequel to Mario 64. Do you know what I mean? I've always loved 64, and Sunshine obviously didn't quite do it. But
no, didn't quite cut the mustard. And then you're probably right. Probably, can I get away with Super Mario All Stars?
We'll let you off this once. Yeah.
No, I'll go. All right, in that case, then I'll go Super Mario World because Super Mario World because I never had an NES, and I used to actually sneak round to a mate's house to play that just to get my fix of it. It was brilliant. So
if you go back and play the 2D Mario games, the level design is just literally taking the piss out of anything that's been before or since. Do you know what I mean? It's just so tight. It's just Miyamoto flexing his muscles, going, "Yeah, bring it."
And it is the base. Other than maybe nowadays Super Meat Boy has kind of crept in on this statement, but it is the game that all other games are judged by in a platformer sense.
Of course.
Is it like the Mario jump? Is it like it is the de facto standard. Now
the amazing thing is with that jump, they got the inertia right the first time back in
that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They just hit something sweet, and then it's very much like Call of Duty is now. I suppose they've hit a spot, and that's it. They don't need to change it because
it just feels right.
Sweetly. Yeah, but so let's talk about Sonic then.
Sonic games. What would be your top 3? Can you even have you even got one?
It's got to be one because that is the original and probably the one that everyone always tries to hark back to be honest.
And everyone's played it.
Yeah, and then after that, I'm really struggling to kind of. For me, it's got to be it's just gonna be 1, 2, and 3 because after 1, 2, and 3, I stopped playing Sonic games.
I think
Didn't
a lot
play
of people
Sonic
did.
RPG. I didn't. I tried playing. I think after 1, 2, and 3, next time I picked up Sonic was Sonic Heroes, which was awful.
Ooh, yeah, that's a bad old game, man.
Which was awful. And then God, what's the one on the DS that was quite good?
Sonic Rush.
Yeah, Sonic Rush. I picked that up as well, and that wasn't too bad actually. But then it wasn't Sonic. It was kind of all J-pop and weird and hey guys, and he was like, he was animated Sonic, and it was just a bit, from the TV show, and it was all a bit like kind of, who the fuck's this?
They've made that character a weird fella now, haven't they?
Yeah.
What I like what they've done with Sonic Generations. Have you heard about this? Where it's old Sonic meeting up with new Sonic.
Yeah, I heard it's an interesting concept. So it's one like old Sonic is just ploughing through quick levels, and new Sonic is kind of going through more 3D environments.
Yeah, it was the same
right?
levels. You go through the same levels either from 2D or 3D.
Yeah,
obviously not designed exactly the same, but yeah, the storyline's meant to be really interesting in that Sega are kind of taking the piss out of themselves a bit. It's very tongue in cheek that the juxtaposition of old Sonic being this sort of very classic character that everyone loves, and then new Sonic being this annoying brash bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, I don't know. I just never, other than one, I don't think I ever really got on with a Sonic character. I never really kind of enjoyed him as a character. Whereas with Sonic, through all the different iterations, whether it's the TV show or the 3D Mario or the 2D Mario, I always kind of like that character really kind of stuck with me.
The TV program for Mario was brilliant.
That was amazing. Yeah, do the Mario.
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's our game. Top stuff.
Swing your arms from side to side. I love that, man. I should sit there singing that at the end of the show every time. It was ridiculous. Yeah, so for me, it's Mario all day. Like, because I just remember the one abiding memory of Sonic that I have is that I got Sonic when I got I played Sonic when my sister got her Mega Drive.
Yeah.
And I remember playing through the whole of Sonic in 2 days. Sonic the Hedgehog. Crashed through it in 2 days, completed it, and just went, oh, that's shit. And then never went back to it for ages.
You can savour a Mario game, can't you? You can go back and replay levels, and I know you can. Like, people do find going back to Sonic fun, but Mario's a much more solid product to go back to and revisit, I think.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, it's got to be It's got to be Mario all day, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with a sort of a caveat that I do quite like Sonic, and I'm the one person who likes Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. Man, that's a fucking brilliant game.
Is that you coming out in some kind of like Sega Anonymous? Like,
yeah,
hello,
that's the one.
Yeah,
my name's Dan, and I'm addicted to Sega.
I've been clean for a few days now.
I just needed a fix, Mark.
I just couldn't go another day without seeing Tails.
I was cracking me on, Knuckles, to see Knuckles.
Genius.
Yeah, so I'll have to side with you on Mario just because his games are so well designed.
Yeah, man.
They are the blueprint. They're the blueprint, and nothing can match that, no matter what.
Cool. Right, so that's Mario and Sonic. So is that everything for news and texts and Twitters and everything?
It is, other than we need to decide what we're doing for next week's Jason.
Yes, we do. You're right. Let me have a look on the list. Next week, we can have, I think we should do PES versus FIFA.
Yep.
And Siphon Filter versus Metal Gear Solid.
Sounds like a good one to me.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah,
so, again, get involved if you want to have a chat with us on Twitter and tell us why you think PES is better than FIFA, or FIFA's better than PES, or the same thing with Siphon Filter versus Metal Gear Solid.
If you're the one person who thinks that Metal Gear Solid isn't a patch on Siphon Filter, then then do let us know and tell us why you think that.
Cool.
So
give out the addresses, son.
Yeah, if you've got any other questions or anything, you can email us, email@theaibots.com, or you can find us on Twitter @theaibots. We'd appreciate any comments, any topics you'd like to talk about, any questions, just let us know. we're always here for you.
Superb. Right, let's get out of here because we're running up to a ridiculous amount of minutes at the moment.
Yeah, this one's a long one, isn't it? So
Yeah, mate. Let's get out.
yeah, let's speak to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.